Hello and welcome to our rant of the week for January 16th, 2019. This is our second rant in this new year of manifestation, and it's one that I think is going to be a help to you. Now, the focus of the rant today is actually more on something that is related to effective use and success in magical practice. Okay? A little bit different. I'm not really complaining about anything today. I'm talking about something positive, something that I hope will build you up and help you move forward into something that actually brings forth the type of manifestation, the type of power that you want to see in your life. Now, excuse me, the main thing that we need to realize when we're dealing with the occult is that it is not like it has been portrayed, and most of you know this, in movies and in various books and fictional writings and so on and so forth. And it is also not like so many people have put forward, even in the occult community, that have a particular bent on doing it as a way of showmanship. Okay? There are some that, have showmanship that are definitely authentic, but I'm talking about, some of the things that you see on the internet. And the internet, of course, it can be really great and it can be a real curse when you're trying to find something that is powerful and effective, but you don't have the context. You don't know whether or not they're telling the truth or not. And, that's something that you don't have when you actually meet somebody, when you actually talk with somebody. This is one of the reasons why I say, too, that you can feel free to contact me. You can contact me at the email address that we have, or on Facebook, or on Instagram, or on Twitter, or through any number of means, even through, I think there's a private message feature on YouTube itself. And I will get back to you as soon as I can. And you'll have the opportunity to have a conversation with me because I'm not afraid of that. And, I hope that, that's something that you take advantage of, because what I do here, I don't do to try and be flashy. I try to do to help awaken consciousness and help you grow, because that also helps me grow too. Because when you help others, it seems to be a universal law that we don't understand. It also helps you too. And so we all win together in that respect. Now, I mentioned the title of this little rant was, which is better? Or which system is better? Which way is better? This is an attitude that actually goes completely against real growth, because it ends up being a comparison game of the egoic mind. Are runes more powerful than ceremonial magic? Is the right-hand path more powerful than the left-hand path? Is there such a thing as a literal god or goddess, or is it all in your head? And which way is better? Which way has more? Okay, these are games that the egoic mind likes to play because it is something that continually engages it. All right? There's a place for the egoic mind in interpreting our experiences, but we need to understand that everything that the egoic mind translates also must be taken with a grain of salt, because, of course, there are aspects in the world of limitation that distort what comes from the infinite. It can be preserved enough for us to benefit from, though. And that's something that we need to really work on. But looking at what's better, making that comparison game, what ends up happening is that the focus shifts from what magic can do for you, and the occult in general can do for you for growth and transformation, to what toys you play with in your ritual, or what particular altar setup you have, or what words you say are more powerful or less powerful. It takes the system, even in chaos magic, this is true. It takes the system that you're using and takes the arbitrary, and a lot of people say, oh no, they're not arbitrary. Yeah, in many ways they are. Not all of them, but quite a bit. Arbitrary because of a particular purpose they have in bringing you into a different state of consciousness. But they focus on that as the key, misses the whole point, and ends up making us all a bunch of bad cosplay actors. Because the principles are consistent no matter what system you're working with. Whether you're working with voodoo or hoodoo, or whether you're working with rune magic, or whether you're working in ceremonial style magic, or whether you're working even in satanic magic, it doesn't matter. The systems have different approaches. They have different ways of getting you to the place in consciousness where you make that connection that brings about the transmission of your will into manifestation. But the principles that make that so are not different. And it doesn't matter if you're looking at the ancient peoples, okay? Take a look at what the ancient peoples have done, as far as we can. The shamanistic peoples in the ancient tribes, they were attempting to communicate with spirits in order to get wisdom, not only for themselves, but for their tribe, or for the purpose of manifesting their will, much the same as what we are looking at today. Although our context in society is different, the needs are still there. And they did it in so many different ways. Some beat on drums, some used to go on vision quests, some used to fast, some used to do this and do that. But the principle was to get into that place of consciousness where the connection could be made. And that principle is effective whether you are working in any system or whether it's in chaos magic where you're not working in any real system at all other than your own design. It all is the same when it comes to that. And that really blows apart the whole which way is better argument. Because all that is mental masturbation in the egoic mind. It really doesn't matter. It's what resonates with you. It is what is moving to you. To give an example, I love rune magic. I practice rune magic. I do a lot of things with runes, but I also do things in a ceremonial style. And sometimes I do things without any type of ceremony at all. I do it in one of the ways that I described, mental magic, which I found to be just as effective as doing any of the other ways that I've done it. But I do it because it moves me emotionally to a certain point in consciousness. And that was the way in which I was able to bring forth things into manifestation. And that true in terms of the intangibles of things that I wanted in my life to tangible physical things as well. But if I had done that just focusing on the way and the manner in which it was done, and that was my focus, where's the intent? Where is the magical will? It's all tied up in whether you wiggle your fingers 3 ways or use a particular type of gand or wand or athame. So you can see how that which is better attitude destroys effectiveness and actually takes away your power. The transcendental principles that underlie everything in terms of where you connect and how you focus your will in that connection are global. The methods, however it resonates with you. If you like runes, connect through runes. If you find a resonance with ceremonial magic, do that. Just don't be caught up in, oh, this is a better way than your way. It's just a different way to get to the same place. And they may call it something different, but its essence is not. Just chew on that for a bit. And one of the things I put in the description here was ask yourself what you really want. I think that's a real important thing to leave off with in this little mini broadcast, this little rant. What is it that you want? We need to be honest with ourselves. Honest with ourselves. What is it that we really want? By the way, I'm just noticing hello as well to those that are live watching. I see you there. Hail and thank you for being here. When you put yourself in the position of being honest with yourself about what you really want, you begin to ask yourself questions like, very basic ones. Do I want to succeed? Do I want to grow? Or do I want to fail? Do I want it not to work? Well, obviously, if you're doing this, you would say, yeah, I want to succeed. I want this to work. Then using whatever system you have, but focusing on the transcendental principle of connection and the way it changes your consciousness so that your will is transmitted into the multiverse, to be transmitted back into manifestation, that's your focus. All right? When I talk about energy, I'm talking about vibration. I'm talking about frequency. I'm not talking about something that's ethereal over there somewhere. No, I'm talking about electrical energy that actually passes through all things. Realize that even in your physical body, not talking about magic at all, you are vibrating at a certain frequency. There are electrical impulses, millions of them, going through your entire body all the time. You wouldn't be alive otherwise. What do you think makes your heart go? It's an electrical impulse, controlled subconsciously. Thank goodness for that. Otherwise, you'd have to think about, beating your heart, My heart, beat, beat, beat. Oh, and that was a great football game. I forgot to beat my heart. Ooh, heart attack. No, some of these things are automatic. All right. But they are impulses nonetheless. And spiritually speaking, we talk about that, realize I'm not separating that from the physical. The body is a part of the soul complex, not separate from it. That there are other aspects of that frequency that are there that are working through us and that we are able to work with. And these are the senses that are beyond the 5 senses of the body. And I've talked about that before. But we are vibrating at that frequency. And if we want to be successful in any type of magic, no matter what it is, we must become the symbol of what we are seeking to create. We make our will into a symbol of some sort, whether it's a sigil, whether it's a focus of will, a feeling, however we have it set up in a resonant way in ourselves. And we must become that vibration when we transmit that out through a magical act. And that is what brings success to us. And however you do it, whether it's rune magic, hoodoo, what have you, that's just the method that you use to get to that state. So the whole argument and thought of which way is better is a moot point, isn't it? And I hope that this is something that helps you to grow. I'm really rooting for you. I think that if you are watching this here today or on a replay later on, that you do have the potential and the power to do this. It's just a matter of getting yourself into the right place where that connection can be experienced in its fullest way. I'm Dan, the host of the Dan Podcast. I want to thank you for watching this. And feel free to comment. Also, take a look at the links we have in the description below. I know there are some there that you'll find very helpful. Until next time. Hello, and thank you for watching this episode of the Dan Podcast, or TDP for short. We really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch. And of course, if you like what you see, if you want to see more of these types of broadcasts put out there, give us a thumbs up. That really helps us on our videos, and subscribe. When you subscribe, make sure you hit the little bell icon too. That way you'll get notified of new videos that we have on our channel. Thank you again. I'm Daniel, the host of the Dan Podcast.